All right, you can hear me snap once. Hear me snap twice. Thank you for the extras. And then Jenny's will have you some extras as well. So take 30 seconds just to examine your trapezoid, and I challenge you to estimate how many square units you think is in that trapezoid. Anna analyzing she's. And we could do this silently. I see someone breaking it into different shapes.
Wait, we could draw on this.
Wait, how many what? Did I fold it?
Yes, but I think I wasn't clear enough. Let's keep our voices off during this. Hold questions. Okay, once you have an estimate, so write your estimate where it says estimate the area in square units. And now, Josiah's going to give you a pair of scissors, and you, Josiah or I will give you a pair of scissors. You will cut the trapezoid along the dotted line, and then you will put the scissors right back on the edge, like on the outside, right here, so that they can be collected again, because we only need to make one cut. Cut along the dotted line, and then put the scissors on the edge of the table. What are you going to do when you get your scissors? Brian, what are you going to do when you get your scissors? Absolutely. Josiah can help you with that. What? I see Joshua cutting along the dotted line. Leah knows exactly what to do with her scissors. So does Dana. So does Joshua. So does Brian. Everyone knows what to do with their scissors. Yes. All right. You should be done with your cutting in about 5 seconds. 5, 1 second, 4, 3, 2, 1. Looks like we are done cutting. The next question on your page, which we're going to do another think, pair, share, says, how could this help us find the area? And then there's another question that says, how can a rotation help us find the area? So before you start talking with one another, I want you to experiment with your trapezoid and think about ways to rotate that might help you find the area. Try a few things. You might need to, I don't know, move things around. But take 30 seconds to silently do some rotations. I see Ian made a parallelogram. Nyla made a parallelogram. So did Dana. So did Brian. Oh! I see. actually made a parallelogram as well. Okay. Now, please turn and talk to the person next to you. How could this help you find the area? And how could this help you find the area? Go ahead and turn and talk about that with the person next to you. So you see how if it's like this, you see how the square, put it if you put it together, it makes full squares. Okay. Yes. Oh!
I just peed out that word.
It's easier to find the
You'll raise your hand in a second. If you can hear me clap once. What do you think? How can this help us find the area? I want to hear from lots of people. Diana.
This will help us find the area because we already know the formula for finding the area of a parallelogram.
I also love how you said that in a full sentence. That was great. Dana?
Because when you put it in like a parallelogram, it makes the half squares. Because like if you look at it as its regular shape, some of the squares aren't like fully they're not full squares. But if you rotate it into the different direction, it makes it easier because some squares become whole squares, while some stay half squares.
Cool. Who wants to build on that? And Francis, I know you had your hand up earlier. What were you gonna say?
So I was gonna say that this helps us find the area. Cause we know how to find the area by parallelograms, and if we're able to identify if we could identify the base and the height, we could use that formula and substitute the values for the base and the height, and then we'll find the area.
What I heard you say was we can substitute the values to say that one more time because you said it really, really well.
Oh, okay. So since we know the formula for how to find the area of a parallelogram, we could identify the value of the base and identify the value of the height, and then we could substitute those values and multiply them, and then use them in the formula for a parallelogram.
Okay, what I heard you say was identify the value of the base and the height and substitute the values into the parallelogram formula?
Yeah.
Cool. I'm just going to draw a little parallelogram formula. So that's exactly right. What I want you to do right now is you can reassemble it as a trapezoid. And if you have a pencil, you might have to write it sort of extra dark, but some people I notice also have pens, which is good. You should bring a pencil and a pen to every class. Let's label the bottom base 1. Oh, I'm going to learn first. And let's label the top base 2. Base 2. And let's label you don't have to label it exactly like this, but this is the full height. Kind of hard to do. And you might need to make it kind of dark with your pencil so that it's easy to see. So I'm doing literally what Francis said. He said, identify the values of the components of the trapezoid and then substitute them into the formula for area of a parallelogram. So I know the formula for area of a parallelogram. Let's see, I'm going to need some space here. I'm going to make mine. You might need a clear little space on your page. Well, the area of a parallelogram is base times height. Show this whole thing. I might even just show this on the board. If I substitute those values, what's the base of this parallelogram when I rotated the top piece? What's that whole base all the way from here to here? Turn and talk with the person next to you about how could you find what is the whole base from one end to the other? Can you write an expression to represent the whole base of the parallelogram? Try to talk. Not yet. What? Tell me how. Candy Rose. You can say Candy.
This?
Do you have an idea in mind? Okay. What do you think? I got one brave soul. What do you think, Nyla?
I got base 1 with base 2.
Base 1 plus base 2, right? From here to here is base 1. From here to here is base 2. So that parallelogram base turns into base 1 plus base 2. What about the height of this parallelogram? Same person. Let's see if anyone else help me out with the height of this parallelogram compared to the height of the trapezoid. Daniel, what do you think?
Maybe
Half of the, it's actually, yes, half of the height, right? We cut the height in half. So we'll call it half of the height. So I can say times, we can either call it h over 2, or in some cases, you might see it written like this, where that 1/2 comes first. You might see the trapezoid formula in a lot of different ways, but you know where it comes from. You might see 1/2 base 1 plus base 2 times the height. So either of these. So you have just discovered the formula for the area of a trapezoid. And if you ever forget, you can think about cutting it in half and rotating it. At the end of class, I'm going to ask you, as we close class, I'm going to ask you to tell me about these components of this formula and where they come from. But let's first practice using this formula. Can you write that stuff on here?
Yes.
Josiah's going to write the steps that we're going to take for when we use the formula. It says find the area of the trapezoid below. This is a trapezoid as well, even though this piece right here isn't slanted. It's still a trapezoid because it has only one set of parallel lines. So the first step is to write the formula. I will use the first one that we discovered. Area equals base 1 plus base 2 times h over 2. Write the formula. Number 2 is substitute the values. Base 1, I can see here, is 7 units. Base 2 is 5 units. The height is 4 units. So I've just substituted the values. The last step is just to simplify this expression. 7 plus 5 is 12 times 4 divided by 2 is 2. 24 square units. Great. I just modeled how to use the formula. Let's do the next one together. How can I use that same process? How can I use that same process? 1, 2 hands, 3, 4. Okay, how about Rose? How can I use the same process?
Like the formula?
I can start by writing the formula, yeah. Let's go back to the, yeah. Base 1 plus base 2 times height divided by 2. What's different about this trapezoid too, Rose?
It has the dotted and the angle.
Yes, it has a dotted line showing the height. What else does it have, Dana?
Has a slant height.
It has a slant height. I love that academic vocabulary so much. She means these side lengths are labeled.
Oh.
In cases like this, I like to call those things distractors. These are distractors because we don't use that information. Yes.
And yeah, the base one is 8
Yes. Okay. So 8.
plus 6
Okay.
plus
Great.
and the H
Is 4. Yep. So it would be 4 over 2. Absolutely. Am I done?
No.
Do you want to finish this one up?
Yeah. So, because 8 plus 6 is 14. So you're gonna multiply that by 2. Because 4 divided by 2 is 2. And then your final answer is gonna be 28 units squared.
Absolutely. Since the problem didn't give us units, it drives me crazy when I see problems that don't give you units, but we can still include them in our answers. So, now you guys are going to get a chance to practice a little bit, and then we'll do a scavenger hunt to practice a little bit more. Part of your practice, you know the deal. You've done this before. This says, find the area of each trapezoid. Each partner solves one side. Your answers should be the same. If you and your partner get different answers, you will work together to identify the mistake. But before you work together, you'll work together in about 3 minutes. I'm gonna give you 3 minutes silently to get started on these two. And I'm gonna give one hint for the questions on the bottom. My hint is to use this formula. 1/2 times base 1 plus base 2 times the height. It just might make the multiplying with fractions a little simpler. So 3 minutes silently, and then you guys will get a chance to talk, compare, and find the mistakes. Yes, you're going to solve them exactly the same way that we just solved them. I totally didn't give you guys your A's and your B's.
Yeah.
That's my fault. So before you keep going, A, B. Did you already start on B? So you've read my mind.
Me too.
A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B, A. So you guys can like all compare when you work together. B, A. What did you start on, Cajon?
I'm gonna start it because I was confused. I should send it to Miss Thumb.
Interesting. Okay, so you can start on B, and then Ashley, which one did you start on? Okay, perfect. You on your B, and then you guys are all set. So now take about AB, or yeah, AB. Take about another 2 minutes without talking. You hold the question until after practice. Hold the question until after practice. You start on B. Take about 1 more minute. Ask questions afterwards.
Oh shoot, why did I do B? I'm so slow. Oh, why is that phone still here?
If you finish early, you can start on the second side. Take about 30 more seconds. When I see a few more people, no, I mean the second start sharing your thinking with your partner. If you still need a few more seconds to finish up the problem you're on, you can absolutely tell your partner, I just need a couple more seconds to finish this. But if you are both done, then you can start sharing. Yep, you're working together to identify any mistakes. Yes, I see the phone going over to Ashley to compare. Yes.
One, two. First one I got there. Whoa.
Here people comparing their answers. We're hunting for mistakes. Did we get different things?
First one you got there, you should get.
Beautiful. Now you have to work together to identify the mistake. Yes.
Me too.
The base 1 plus base 2 times height over 2. That's fine. Perfect. Do you guys have any mistakes?
Yeah.
Okay.
I accidentally did this one.
Okay. You can write in this space, and you should write in this space. Try and get some thinking down there. What do you think? And if you've done it, good. So you can help. You have to work together to figure out why he's confused. Okay. What's?
Oh my god. Don't say the Lord's name in vain.
Yes. Yeah. Good. And you got 1.5 on this side. It takes about 30 more seconds to work together to identify the mistake. Yeah, you can all do this. No, you're not gonna see much. Actually, you wait. Thank you so much.
Alright.
All right, if you can hear me, snap once. If you can hear me, snap twice. So I know that Daniel and Adrian, you guys had a problem where you had different answers.
Yup.
Were you guys able to work together to identify the mistake?
Yup.
Can you please share that?
Alright, so
How about Adrian? Can you bring both of those papers up here? Do you feel confident explaining it, or do you want him to come up there with you?
I got you.
Huh?
Okay.
You gonna do it?
Yeah.
All right. Where was the one with the mistake? It doesn't matter whose it was.
This one.
This one?
Yeah, so Daniel, he did this one.
Was it on this problem?
Yeah.
Okay, what was the mistake?
He got 105.
Okay. But how?
He did. He said that he did 1/2 times 5.
Okay. So it's a simple like computation. Okay. Not as interesting as I thought. But that's fine. Okay. Was there anyone else that had a disagreement with the person that they were working with? You guys? Was it on the bottom question?
It was on the first question.
But actually, you guys had a difference on the
Yeah, on the bottom question.
Can you take this back? Okay. Actually, I want to highlight that one. That one was perfect. Can I borrow yours? It had this work down here. So she had gotten 6/4 or 1 2/4, but Joshua had gotten 1.5.
I forgot to simplify it.
There we go. By working together, she figured out she needed to simplify it. And then, was there something else you wanted to add, or was that it?
I don't know what we had a mistake on the first question, but I don't know what it was.
But did you find it and fix it? Yeah. Perfect. I'll check it over in a second to figure out where it was. Great. So, in a minute, you guys are actually going to do a scavenger hunt.
Yay.
There are 7 posters and 6 spaces on your sheet to do it on. Can you please hold it up over your head? And on 3, we're gonna rip it apart. 1, 2, 3. Please take only the scavenger hunt with you. And I will give you a place where you should start. Don't go until I say go. Let me give you a place where you should start first. You 3 can start on this poster. You 3 can start on that poster. You guys and Francis, you should start on this poster. Can you 3 start on that poster that's over there? Javier, Ashley, Capone, can you start on the one that has the pretty picture?
Wait, what's the letter? Oh,
And you may go. I want to make sure everyone gets started well. Brian has already started.
It's A.
That one. That's
So what number am I on? Oh my god.
I think Brian is
Says it right before the
really
question.
well right now.
Becky, this is A, right?
Yes.
Before the question.
That's I.
I don't see it.
See how I find that area of the triangle. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was
Francis is on task. So Josiah, just for us. The ones that might be an issue. So that one might be an issue. That one. Okay, that one. It's gonna be a fraction division problem. Okay.